And we've got the brain waves. You see them right up here. Those are my brain waves. You're basically looking inside my brain. As you see those is delta, gamma, theta, beta. Everything that you can imagine in terms of brain waves are there. And as I play, those are going to change like crazy. And it's your job as the viewers to find the patterns because we're searching tonight for the singularity. Those of you, I'll explain the singularity as we play here a little bit. So, without any more ado, let's just go and play a game and see. Just see what happens, shall we? Okay, we're going to play on Lead Chess tonight. Lead Chess is a free chess program. You can just go to the internet and get this. It's a really wonderful outfit, this Lead Chess. They let people play chess for free, and it's a lot of fun and a lot of good players over there. You can find basically any level that you want. And if you can get something totally great for free like that, I mean, why not do it, right? And, it's if you're really well in life and you want to donate to a good cause, Lead Chess could be like a good opportunity for that because they help the world. The world will be a better place when people find beauty, when they stop just searching for only material things. And I didn't see that. That's kind of bogus. Kind of made a mistake there. Not too bad, but still. I got to get my king out of danger. I'm going to move him up here because I had a discovered check there, and discovered checks are usually pretty horrible things when they can move a piece and open up an attack on your king. That means they can take one of your pieces and you really can't defend or do anything to stop them. It's just a good idea to get developed as much as possible. I don't like that queen attacking that pawn all the time, and this bishop looks like it could go there, but that pawn just comes up. I think this bishop is going to be better over here, and it heads down toward his king eventually. I'm going to put that bishop over there. That's called a fianchetto, they call it. You put your bishop over there behind a pawn. We can get a really cheap check on his queen right now, but I don't see how that's going to help us. We're going to counteract against that rook over there. Basically, right now, I'm just playing chess so that you don't have to. It's quite a bit of fun just to watch, right? And hopefully drive that knight back. And then I'll come up again because that pawn right there was very weak against that queen. Okay, and now drive that knight again. And I don't know, protect the pawn one more time. Is this going to work? We really advance those pawns on the queen side. But we still got to get some attacks going here over here on the king side. Is where we really want things to happen. Okay, he's protected. I don't really think that he was under attack there, but I kind of think that I might be able to get something working here. I want to advance these pawns, and I needed some protection here, and this knight's going to do that. My king is pretty safe over here. I'm already going to bring it up. We're getting, the clocks are ticking. Clocks are ticking. And the king is not nearly as safe as it was. This pawn still protects it on that diagonal. And nothing else can get on this diagonal because of my pawns. Just going to try something here. He can't really take that knight, and I can come up here with a nice attack on this pawn and on this pawn with my queen, and be almost like a checkmate here. Don't know what he can do. I'm not sure this is the singularity. It doesn't feel like it, but it's all in the brainwaves. It's not my subjective feelings that's going to determine. Oh, crap. I had a checkmate. I should have taken there, and it would have been right there. I can't believe I did that. Oh, well. This will be interesting. I moved this pawn forward. His king has a flight square right here for when my queen comes down. He's got to move his king over, because if he takes here, then checkmate him here. I think his only move is to move the king over, but then I checkmate him anyway. So I don't know if that's a singularity. Yeah, singularity is an elusive thing. We keep trying for it. I don't think I'm sure I'm not the only chess player who's searching for the singularity. Chess players at extremely high levels are not looking for it because they're already in another league. Okay, so he put me in check. And I'm gonna see, look, I got a minute and 51. If I take him there, does he have another check? Not really. I think I'll just take him with this, because I got checkmate in one move. And he could check me with his queen, but I just take him with my king. With my knight. And that's checkmate. Great. Okay, well, it was fun. It was fun to win and all. The thing is, oh, wow, man, look at that. They were all over the board. Those brainwaves were just totally crazy right there. If we do reach singularity tonight, Um, you know what that means. I'm going to move this just a little bit. If we do reach the singularity tonight, it means that they are going to be documented. My brain waves are documented right there on the right up here on the right there. They're there. The data is all right there. When the singularity happens, we're going to have proof of it. And not only that, we'll make some interesting breakthroughs in terms of brainwave patterns, brain function, many things, because the singularity is something very important, not just for chess, but because it shows what they call the iceberg. It's something like an iceberg effect. If you've ever heard of the iceberg effect in psychology, refers to how icebergs, when they're floating, every once in a while. Okay, now this knight. This is what's interesting in this game. The knight can come here and then up to here. It can go there because that pawn's sitting there blocking that bishop. White always takes, not always, but a lot of times if they don't know this opening, they take quite a bit of time. Okay, just checking things here. That's not going to help to bring that down. I got a castle. I'm going to castle on that side and we'll see what happens. Okay, once again, we're going to develop. Always looking for a sacrifice or something like that. I could bring him down here. I don't see where that helps me though. I'm going to bring it back there. Already developed this. If he wants to keep advancing, he can. Queen will go back where she started from. That's always a pretty good place for a queen. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but the starting positions of the pieces are pretty awesome. You have some pretty awesome starting positions for all the pieces. Okay, I'm going to start a break here now. I got to get some space somewhere, and every once in a while, if this, as long as this pawn is not in, doesn't look like it's in a lot of danger, and here it's protected there without much problem. So, I don't think this looks better to me for some reason. Because now if he takes this bishop with his knight, that's basically fine with me. We'll see what happens. A lot of people would take this bishop because, you got the whole idea that bishops are better than knights, but a lot of pretty low players, they also think that a centralized knight is like really important, and they're good. Can't knock it. This will make him think a lot if he's with that idea that he's got a centralized knight. Okay. Why don't I just take a pawn and see what happens? We're going to mix things up here. He's going to take this pawn. And I'm going to go over here and take this. Just to see what happens. Now I can take with this or I can take with this. I actually think I get more play retaking with the... He thought he was going to take me here and then... Okay, so I got to watch very, very much for that pawn advance. Luckily, I got the bishop on this diagonal. He can't put me in check. I got to be really careful here now. What can I do? I think I got to bring this knight into play. Things are not looking good right now. For me. I got to miss out. I'm going to bring him back. It's like one of the best places for him. Figured he would do that. It exposes my king, but I'm going to put my king over in the... Ooh, wow. That was tough. But what about that pawn now? In trouble. Wow. Well, I got his pawn and protected myself there a little bit, but he's an entire rook ahead. I got these... Oh, that's even worse than I thought. Is there any way I can protect that? Not really. Oh, no. Okay, let's look at those brainwaves. Wow! It happens every time when I get into a really bad losing position. They just go really steep, and then you get that rise that you see right there after the game is over. I get a big relief, like because I'm losing, and then suddenly the game is over, which is one of the reasons maybe why chess is addictive, because you always get these flushes of happiness. Most of us like to win. And when we do win, we feel pretty happy about that. And then, on the other hand, when we lose, we suddenly discover, hey, I can start a new game. And the whole idea of starting a new game is like, wow, this is great. You know, starting all over. And what do you know? Your happiness just goes way up again. Sometimes they advance this pawn, and that's really not the worst thing in the world. In fact, I think I can sacrifice this thing right now. I'm going to get an attack on his queen and knight, and then I'm going to get an attack on this pawn here with my rook and white bishop. It's gonna be pretty darn heavy here. Okay, I'm gonna try this and just see what happens. He's got an attack. I know I should be more proactive, but I didn't want to just let him take that pawn. He was going to go down on the long diagonal. Okay, now I want to keep my bishop active. And I want to keep my rook active too. So maybe I'll just protect with the pawn. I don't normally like advancing that pawn like that, but in this case, I want to keep this rook with the possibility of coming down here. Okay, this is good. I think this is exactly what I was looking for. It was this position. Because now what I can do is I can take him here and then take him here, get his rook. There's all kinds of crap going. Crap I shouldn't say, but all kinds of stuff that I can do down there. This knight can come up here and then over here check. So a lot of threats, and the biggest threat is on this bishop file that I freed up using the King's Gambit. And I really feel good now about this, moving that pawn up. Let me see, I got a free move now. What is he going to do? I don't want him coming in here and checking me with the queen. And this also attacks his bishop. When I take here and he retakes there, I win another piece. So it was actually pretty good, I think, to bring the knight up here at this point. You always have to calculate that kind of stuff a lot, because if you don't calculate it very, very well, you get into a really good position. Just like that, you see. Okay, I'm going to force his knight out. Put him in check. Take the knight. We're doing just fine here. I think with the knight, with the queen, that's the only thing I really have. We've got pretty good development and everything. He's a piece ahead, but his rook is really, really, I mean, it all depends in the next moves. This knight is very, very well posted here, avoiding this check with the queen, which would equalize the game in many aspects at any point. The rook is going to swing out to here, threatening some kind of checkmate down there, or at least winning this bishop by bringing the queen down to this square and then taking whatever. Things are looking good right now for white after that sacrifice of a piece. Now I don't know if that's a singularity. It could be a singularity, and it might not be a singularity. It's really hard to say. That's interesting. I don't see any real checkmate here, so I'm just going to I can easily win this bishop, depending on what he does. like that, for example. Where's he going to go with that bishop? Once again, we do not want to it's going to come down here, and I don't know how this is going to play out. Hoping I can get my It's going to put me in check now, but I'm hoping that will actually help me. Okay. I got 1 minute and 36 on the clock, which is my biggest advantage right now. If he moves his bishop on, I'll get his rook by putting him in check. He's only got 1 second left. Well, it wasn't a kind of a game where it looked like, well, look at those brainwaves, wow, how they go up. When it just sinks in, that you just won a pretty good game. And who knows, it might be the singularity. We'll see. We don't have any more time tonight to play, but we'll be back. We'll be back probably tomorrow night. And if that was the singularity, we have the record of it there in the brain waves. And if it's not the singularity, we'll just keep working at it and hopefully we'll get there. But who knows? That might be it right now. You might have seen it right there. So remember Steinitch. Um, you know when I'm playing. I'm not on the schedule, but you can know when I'm playing. Just follow me because you follow me, you get the alert in your email, and you don't want to miss out. If I hit the singularity, you want to be here at the moment. You want to see it on the brainwaves. It's going to be really historic. Besides the historicness of just the fact that we're the first Twitch or YouTube chess streamer to have brainwave action in real time. So we'll see you around soon. Bye bye.